The Cincinnati Bengals spent the entire offseason hearing about their flaws, but now it's time to face the biggest one head-on. Forget the minor issues. This is about the heart of the offense and the man steering it all, head coach Zac Taylor. Before we dive into the latest Bengals news, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and smash the bell icon so you never miss a single update from the jungle. Alright, let's get real. 3 weeks into the season, with Joe Burrow's health always a concern, the true problem isn't the defense, the safeties, or the pass rush. It's the ground game, and Zac Taylor's fingerprints are all over it. The Bengals aren't just struggling to run the football. They might be putting together one of the worst rushing performances the NFL has seen in years. Chase Brown's talent is undeniable, nearly 1,000 yards last season despite sharing carries, yet this offense can't find a rhythm on the ground. Scheme, play calling, and commitment all come into question. If the Bengals want to contend, this rushing attack must change, and it starts with the coach. This isn't about pointing fingers at Chase Brown. The real spotlight belongs on head coach Zac Taylor. The pressure? It's squarely on him, and it's mounting by the snap. Taylor doesn't need a top-ranked rushing attack, but he must find a way to make the ground game functional, and he has to do it fast. No one's asking for miracles. We all know Joe Burrow's brilliance can't be replaced, and Jake Browning is a capable backup, not a savior. But when you shift from a franchise quarterback to the next man up, the run game has to carry more of the load. That simply didn't happen against Minnesota. The numbers tell the ugly truth: 53 rushing yards total. Take away a jet sweep to Jamar Chase and a few scrambles, and the backs combined for barely over 40 yards. 3 for Chase Brown, 17 for rookie Taj Brooks, 21 for Samaje Perine, and 12 of Perine's came on a single run when the Vikings weren't even stacking the box. That lonely burst was the highlight of the day. For a team with championship ambitions, that's unacceptable. Until the Bengals prove they can run the football when everyone knows it's coming, every opponent will keep daring them to try, and Zac Taylor will keep feeling the heat. The Bengals simply can't open lanes for Chase Brown, and the reasons stretch across the entire offense. From Zac Taylor's play design to the offensive line's execution, every piece of the puzzle is part of the problem. Think about the bigger picture here. Year after year, Cincinnati has promised to strengthen the ground attack. New wrinkles in the scheme, different personnel, fresh ideas, yet the results remain the same. Each season seems to bring a new explanation or a new scapegoat, but the run game never truly improves. Look back to last season. The message was clear: fix the rushing attack. Adjustments were made, moves were made, and expectations were set. But when you fast forward to today, the Bengals are still searching for answers, still struggling to create holes, and still leaving their running backs without a chance. The question now is simple but urgent: how much longer can this team chase solutions without actually finding them? This past offseason, Cincinnati made a bold move, parting ways with run game coordinator Frank Pollock. On paper, the decision made sense. If the ground attack keeps failing, shake up the staff. Enter Scott Peters, a hire designed to mold the rushing scheme around Chase Brown and finally weave the run game into the Bengals' pass-first identity. The concept was simple: create a seamless offense where running and passing feed off each other. But the reality? It hasn't worked. Many thought the shift from Joe Burrow to Jake Browning might naturally force a stronger commitment to the run. Instead, the Bengals still couldn't gain traction. And that brings the conversation back to one name: Zac Taylor. Brian Callahan is gone. Burrow didn't play last Sunday. Frank Pollock is no longer the easy scapegoat. Yet the rushing attack remains stagnant. Yes, the offensive line could use more talent. Drafting an interior lineman has been a talking point for years. But even with that need acknowledged, the head coach is the constant. Until Taylor finds a way to make the ground game more than an afterthought, the Bengals' offense will stay one-dimensional, no matter who lines up behind center. Neither of the rookie interior linemen the Bengals drafted even suited up on Sunday, and that's where the frustration starts. This roster had opportunities to add proven help inside, yet depth remains thin. Dalton Risner, for example, wasn't even on a team a month ago, and he's already being asked to hold the line. He struggled, and even Orlando Brown Jr. admitted his own performance was far from acceptable. Yes, the offensive line must improve, but the bigger issue is preparation. Cincinnati entered a game knowing it had to lean on the run and still couldn't generate anything, literally nothing. That points back to Zac Taylor's approach. The plan seemed to be a grind-it-out, keep-it-close strategy. Pound the rock, shorten the game, stay in manageable downs. Classic football theory. But this roster isn't built for that. With weapons like Ja'Marr Chase, Tee Higgins, Mike Gesicki, Trey Hendrickson, and a dynamic back like Chase Brown, the Bengals thrive on explosive moments, not slow-motion slugfests. Even with a backup quarterback, the offense should highlight its playmakers, not hide them. Jake Browning doesn't need a ground-and-pound blueprint. He needs an attack that lets Cincinnati's stars create the splash plays that define this team's identity. The Bengals' path to winning isn't complicated. Get the ball to Ja'Marr Chase and Tee Higgins, and trust Jake Browning to make smart reads when defenses key on them. That doesn't mean throwing 60 passes a game, but it does mean accepting what this offense truly is. Yes, Cincinnati must develop a respectable rushing attack, and yes, Chase Brown has the talent to deliver it. I'd still bet on him. But the game plan in Minnesota showed a troubling disconnect. Leaning on a between-the-tackles power style, when the roster screams speed and explosive plays, was a blueprint for failure. Consider the stats. Brown averaged less than a foot per carry. Less than a foot. That's not on the running back. That's a scheme problem, pure and simple. This offense was built around Joe Burrow's precision and creativity. Without him, Zac Taylor's strategy has drifted, and the team's identity is vanishing. Until the Bengals rediscover who they are, an aggressive, pass-driven attack with the run as a complement, they'll keep spinning their wheels, no matter who lines up in the backfield. Joe Burrow has always trusted his arm more than the ground game, and who could blame him? When the rushing attack never proves it can carry the offense, a quarterback naturally keeps the ball in the air. It's the same mindset as a superstar who takes the last shot because no one else has earned it. That has to change. If the Bengals want balance, the running game must finally demand respect. Zac Taylor has guided mid-season turnarounds before. Remember Joe Mixon's surge during his first year, but the urgency is greater now. The spotlight stays on Taylor. He has to create a plan that unleashes Chase Brown, the most dynamic back on the roster. Taj Brooks can spell him, and Samaje Perine can contribute if healthy, but Brown's talent needs to drive this offense forward. All eyes are on how the head coach responds. The Bengals' identity, their playoff hopes, and the pressure on Zac Taylor all hinge on whether this rushing attack can evolve, and evolve fast. The Bengals' most glaring weakness isn't the defense or special teams, it's the run game, and it's squarely on Zac Taylor to fix it. Whether he can is the question that will define the weeks ahead. Cincinnati sits at 2-1, with Monday Night Football against the Denver Broncos looming. Expect more scrutiny, more adjustments, and plenty of hard truths as this season unfolds. That's where we'll leave it for now. The road gets tougher from here, and all eyes remain on how the Bengals respond. Stay tuned, this story is just getting started.